It's going to be your third word. It's going to kick in. Your third word is going to kick in. It is good. Try one more. Just a small one, though.
Smooth.
And I got a funny feeling we're live right now.
Delicious. It's Saturday night. We needed a little help. Are we going? Are we?
I don't know. He's not even talking.
No, we're on. I got your old. The second you reach for the bottle, and I dove for the record button.
Just like to thank our sponsor, Herman Marshall, for giving us the extra courage to do the broadcast tonight. It's delicious. You saw me try it twice. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy it for a minute, just like the stars.
Let it
breathe a little bit.
Soak it in.
Need a little bit of ice on that.
Into your mic,
that's
please.
delicious.
Soak it in.
So, hey, guess what? Stars won a road game in Minnesota against a good team that was on a 4-game point streak. And we've got all sorts of stats to break it down. We're going to do a super chat a little bit later. Lutz is going to tell you why Ilya Lyubushkin might be the player of the match. Maybe, maybe not. Up next here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. Look at that face. That is the sign of victory. Mason Marchment with 2 big goals tonight as the Dallas Stars beat the Minnesota Wild 2-1 at XL Energy Center. Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this?
Well, do you want to share? Or
No.
is that a private thing?
No, it's
Luddy just got a text message from somebody that we talk about a lot. And John
Just
is
ring the
ready.
bell.
I didn't even say his name. Yeah, it's from him. Yeah. One of us has Joe Pavelski on speed dial. It's not me. It's not Sam.
I have Sean
So, Letty,
Shapiro on
you
speed
can't
dial.
read this on the show?
maybe.
This text?
I didn't read it all.
Yeah, he's got to read it
Just-
first, and then he's got to
We
filter
usually
it.
and I think 3
Well, the thing
times
is, the
about
three
it,
of
whether or
us
not
know
you
when
should.
texted Joe Pavelski, and we know why. He probably can't say it.
Let's give that time. All right. So the Stars now have won or at least gotten a point in 11 consecutive regular season games against the Minnesota Wild. You have to go all the way back to November 18th, 2021 for the last time the Stars lost in regulation to the Wild. Last year, it was a demolition. This one wasn't quite that, but it felt like a systematic performance where I was never really of that big a concern until the last maybe 2 minutes that the Stars weren't going to push this over the finish line.
Oh, didn't it seem like Gustafson's reason it was that close
Yes.
all night? I mean, Dallas had plenty of opportunities to put some more pucks in that. I think there were good opportunities, high danger, which I'm sure we're going to go through every single one of them since there was only a couple goals scored tonight. But I felt like their goaltender, gave them a chance to hang around the game, is what they did.
Agreed. I think this was one of those
Dynamite.
I think
Aren't
I
you?
said-
You're a sports writer.
Games. I think I said
Agreed.
He waited all that time.
sometimes.
Agreed.
Sometimes. No, I said it to you, Owen, before they scored that goal. That it felt like what the Stars did to teams last year so often, regular season and playoffs. It just felt like they didn't give them a chance to get going till that last goal. But yeah, very well controlled game. Nothing crazy. No dominance and like crazy amount of scoring chances. Just in control of that game all the way until basically what we said last.
The
5
other
minutes.
thing I like about this game, as far as the win goes, is that they didn't have a 6-goal lead. Like, it was a tight game. It couldn't have gone either way right to the end. Obviously, Dallas played. I shouldn't say that it could go either way. I think Dallas controlled most of the game, but they won a close game. And sometimes you throw in a 7 and then a 7, and sometimes you get used to throwing in them 6 and 7s, which is a good thing. But when you get into this kind of a game, again, more like playoff hockey, it seems like. So I think it's good to have to play in these kind of games.
And to do so without looking flustered. Didn't they seem very much in control, Luds?
You mean like my McAfee thing or whatever it's called?
back?
It's not in control. It's back. You didn't fix it.
We
Sam.
tried. We worked hard.
Okay.
I'd
Anyway,
just like to say you should see Sam and Luds trying to fix his virus protection notifications on Luddy's computer. Because
Google Huey and Dewey.
It was driving you nuts. Sam was trying to help. It was pretty entertaining. So
anyway, as you were saying,
I was just going to say, it felt like the Stars were not at all out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Part of it's because they had the lead, but you remember how Steve Spott said, we played it the other day, we challenged them for offense, and they delivered by playing the right way, not going out of their way to try to score, but doing the right things and let the offense come. And it felt like they were very patient tonight. As they were on their toes, they forecheck hard, but it wasn't as though they were forcing stuff or trying to be panicky or anything like that.
I think that the way I look at that is they weren't concerned that they didn't have a 5-goal lead. They can play in that game. They were comfortable playing in that game tonight.
Yeah.
That's what you said. I just wanted to kind of put a bow on what you said.
No, I that's what I mean. They were comfortable playing that style. That really stands out to me.
Which is what, again, that's what you usually hit when you start playing games in April. And so I think it's good to have to win all different ways and find ways to hang around games throughout the course of the year, because there will be times that the coaches will kind of reference a certain time. When we went through that stretch from game 15 to game 22, we didn't score teams by 2-3 goals. We had to play this way. We needed timely saves from our goaltender, and we had to fight through some adversity to get a couple goals at the end of the rink. So I think you use those times during the year.
You worry, Sam, that you get a couple of big time offensive performances, 7 goals twice, that maybe you start to cheat a little, cut corners, and the Stars didn't do that tonight.
Yeah, the same thing as Steve Spott said, right? The human nature aspect, the same way that it maybe allowed them to limp in offensively to the season, thinking it might come a little easier than it would. Same thing can happen with that, where you get 14 in 2 games and you're like, all right, we fixed everything. Our power play looks good. We're getting chances from everyone up and down the lineup. We're getting them. We got one big one from Rope Hands. He's back, but it's not easy like that. And they did a really good job showing up tonight and being focused for first 60 minutes and playing that style and not losing it throughout, where we've seen that. I mean, that was close to a 60-minute game, right? That's as close as I think I've seen to a 60-minute game for them.
Did you say Rupe Hintz is back?
No, that was the joke. Was saying like
okay.
you think that you get one goal and all right, everything's going to come easily now, and it's going to be a test for this team consistently throughout the year to keep getting those and overcoming each of them.
I was just checking the YouTube chat. We already have some super chats. Keep it going. Segment 3, we'll take your chats. We'll do the super chats first. If you want to make sure that your question, comment, your chirp for one of us, it gets read, you have to do the super chat. If you don't, then you take the gamble that like the other night, we had 8 super chats. We couldn't even fit it in the segment. We had to go into segment 4. Let's do a quick look at the recap as we start tonight with that first period. And Luddy, little fight night in Minnesota, as St. Paul was treated to not 1 but 2 rounds of fisticuffs. And it started with Brendan Smith fighting Jake Middleton. Now, you immediately said, that's a guy that wants to stay in the lineup. You were talking about Brendan Smith. Mm-hmm. I got the impression that based on, and we kind of talked about this off there, how far Jake Middleton went. It was a face-off in the Dallas offensive zone. Smith was at the point. Middleton was, as a defenseman, usually is down low. Goes all the way from below the circle up to the blue line to meet Smith to fight. We agreed that's probably not a spur-of-the-moment thing. That might have been at least arranged before the puck drop. I got the hunch, now you might tell me otherwise, that Middleton said, we're getting outplayed right now. We need something to get, I need something to get Minnesota's, my team going. And so he goes to Brendan Smith and says, let's do this. And he agreed.
Yep.
Is that going to happen?
And I think Middleton knew which guy on the ice he wasn't going to go up to Stanko or who was ever out there. So, yeah. And you can tell, like, it was a face-off, like you said, down at the far end in Minnesota's end. And Middleton's lined up on the half wall where he normally would be on a face-off. And as soon as the puck dropped, we just saw gloves fly. And that was Middleton. So
immediately
he was like, here, I'm coming, just to remind you. And again, for Brendan, I think I look at that. Middleton's I'm not going to say he's a heavyweight, but he's close to that. I mean, he's not that there's a couple other heavyweights in the league, only a couple, but he can hold his own. And I think what Smith did is he hung in there long enough and he fought the fight that he needed to. And then at the end of it, I think you're going to give the edge to him for that. So, and I think that Middleton picked on the right guy for them, trying to get the crowd into it and everybody else, and maybe it backfired a little bit, but it's probably a push at the end of it. But like you said, it's where Brendan Smith is doing what he has to to say, from the coach's standpoint, how do we take the guy out of the lineup?
Yeah.
And it's not just about that fighting. It's about the rest of his game.
And that happened at the 12:10 mark. So 5 minutes each for fighting doesn't affect the manpower. And then 3 minutes, 21 seconds later, Matt Dumba gets, I wouldn't say jumped by Zach Bogosian, but he gets into a collision with Jacob Lauko behind the net. We watched the replay. It looked like Lauko started to fall.
Yeah.
It wasn't really something that Dumba did. But in the next moment, Bogosian and Dumba are going at it. And the interesting thing was in the first fight, I thought Brendan Smith, for as good of a technical fighter as he is, I thought he was giving up too much size against Middleton. And he surprised me a little bit with how he managed. He kind of grappled well, got some shots in at the end. Matt Dumba definitely gives up some size against Zach Bogosian, but he wasn't deterred at all, Sam.
No, and that was one where it doesn't really matter what the play is. Bogosian maybe didn't even see it. He just looks over. You see Dumba skating away from one of your guys down in the corner. It's automatically going to be one that you're probably going to jump him on. Dumba was pretty ready for it, but he threw a couple of nice ones. He used the uppercut, which I love a good uppercut, especially because when you give up that size, that sometimes that's all you can do. And I think in today's NHL, you don't see nearly as many fights, but you do see a lot of creativity with fights where, I think it was yesterday. I can't remember what game it was, but all the expectation and the way the guy gets ready is that he's about to wind up with that right hand, and then he just gives that little jab with the hand that's
You're talking about the
underneath.
Tyson fight?
No.
Because there was one
not a lot
jab.
of
I saw
punching in
one
that
jab thrown in
fight.
that
There were
fight.
more punches in this game, I
Yeah,
think, than
yeah.
last night. Although I do say on that Tyson and Paul thing, the undercard and the co-main event were fantastic.
The women were
The women,
the best.
there was no defense. It was just full throttle
Full
punching,
Rocky.
a lot of headbutting going
Love
on
that.
from
There was
the
a-
Irish
I love
girl.
that.
It was kind of like an Eric
Did you
Carlson
see the
game.
one before that? It was the welterweight title defense. I heard him.
That's excellent.
I think it was a guy named Barrios against Ramos. Each guy knocked the other guy down. That was a good fight. I enjoyed it. Went the distance. Turned out to be a draw though, Luds, and I know you're not a big fan of ties.
I don't draw.
I don't draw.
Not a fan of any drawing.
Um,
You don't write either.
Peyton
so
Manning.
Peyton or Peyton?
I love that.
So
Peyton.
2 fights before that happened. Stars had an early power play. Miro Heiskanen cranked one off the right post. I love the fact that he was teed up in the high slot there for the one-timer. I think they should do that more. And because they have Hintz on one wing, Robertson on the other, you would think that the penalty killers will be drawn away from that high slot, and Miro's got to let a shot go because he has it. That goes in if it's, what is it, an inch to the left?
And I think the two guys that you mentioned need to start gravitating more to the front of the net. And if you look at Miro's game over the last 3, ever since Essek became partners, he's shooting the puck more.
He's last 3 games.
Yeah, he's attempting more shots, and pucks are going to the net. I think that as guys that are having a difficulty for a stretch here putting pucks in the net, and you got a guy that is pulling the trigger, I think you need to start, you make that pass, and you have to start heading that direction, but they kind of hang out there too much.
Matt Boldy, only high danger chance for the Wild in the first period. He gets open on the backhand, and he just misses the far top right corner. And that was it. Stars outchanced the Wild 9-5 in the first. They had a 15-6 edge in shots, 30-17 in shot attempts. And then this happened. Mason Marchment scores right at the end of the period. It was officially at 18:43. So literally a minute 17 left in the first frame. And it's just a face-off play. They win it, goes to the net, shin padding in.
Robertson, Hintz, pay attention to where Marchman's scoring his goals. Both of those goals are a result of him gravitating to the front of the net.
Yeah. I mean, I might even do it. If you looked back at the first few games that they played and you watched the face-off win back to the point like that, I guarantee there's a ton of them that looked just like that, but without Mason Marchment or without whoever the forward is in that spot, and it went right into the goalie's belly, whistle, and another face-off. That time he gets there and he makes a good play. That's simple hockey.
So Ilya Lyubushkin picks up the assist. That is his 4th assist of the season. He takes the shot after a nice clean win by Tyler Seguin. And the goal from Marchment, I believe, was number 5. So there we are. 1-0 in favor of the Stars.
Do you think Ilya I think he thought he scored that goal because he headed to the conga line on the bench first. You know, typically the guy that scores the goal kind of goes through the line, and he was the first guy scrambling through there. And I think he turned around and they're like, "No, dude, you didn't get it."
Yeah.
So defensemen shoot from the point a lot. You shoot low, it goes through a bunch of bodies. You don't really see it. It goes in the net. You go, "Did I score? Did I score?" And then the guy goes, "Yeah, I tipped it."
Yeah.
That's kind of a letdown, isn't it?
Well, I mean, and again, I don't even know. Did Marchment realize right away that I made that hit him?
He
Didn't it hit him in the side of the leg?
I think he knew
right
right
away.
away. Oh yeah.
Because I saw Sagi, he kind of turned around to go out to Labushkin too. So I don't think he realized what it was. Marchment standing there all alone. No, guys, I got that one again. I'm on fire.
So we go to the second period, and there were no goals. But Dallas again dominated in chances. They had a 10-6 edge in scoring chances. They outshot Minnesota 27-11 through 2. So you go to XL Energy Center to a team that's won 3 in a row, 3-0-1 in their last 4. They, I believe, if I have the number in front of me, they have gone 10-2-1 in their last 13 entering tonight. They started the season with 1 win and 2 overtime/shootout losses. And then they've just been on an absolute tear. 800 hockey, and they hold them to 11 shots on goal through 2 periods.
Yeah, and again, I go back to what we started with. I think goaltending. I don't know, what happened in those games that you're talking about, but I know that Gustafsson has been playing well, and so that's part of. Now they've got some key guys out of the lineup, and so I think that's probably the kind of game that Minnesota, with the exception of not getting more than 10, 12 shots, but that's kind of the game they want to play, kind of tight, hang around, and then at the end of the game get a goal from. Well, I don't want to steal your thunder, so
no, I appreciate that. Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
We won't. If you're watching the post-game show, you probably watched the game, so you know who scored. We'll talk about that next as our recap continues on the DLLS Dallas Stars post-game show.
But first, let's talk a little booze again. Founded in 2010, Herman Marshall, Dallas County's first legal distillery since the repeal of Prohibition. Located in historic downtown Wiley, Texas is proud to partner with the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas on a single-barrel expression of its signature straight bourbon whiskey. The Guns N' Hoses Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing immediate financial assistance to the families of fallen police officers and firefighters in the line of duty. They're built from the grain up through family, fellowship, and friends. So, for every bottle of single-barrel straight bourbon whiskey, Herman Marshall donates 15% of its revenue to the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas for those who went before. Stop into your closest goody-goody liquor store to find your favorite bottle of booze.
And since we have a few extra seconds, it's delicious.
Now, there you go.
Still tasting a little
See,
bit.
we've been trying. It's been 2 months.
Well,
we finally
I was
got you
trying
to take a little nip.
Well, it was more than the nip.
Lightweight.
Yeah.
A lightweight. Oh my God, that's insulting. Let's talk about Blue Chew, Sam. Does Blue Chew work? Well, if you're asking that question, we want you to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. Process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part is it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. So, when you've got a special deal for our listeners, try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. So, I said there weren't any goals in the second period.
It sounds like his voice. Sounds like his voice comes.
Basketball guys are in the building.
His voice comes from every direction when he starts his show.
I can also shout that loud.
That's good.
It might hurt my voice after a while, and it's not necessary because we have a microphone here. No, I'll be okay, but thank you.
You're welcome.
But, in spite of the fact there weren't any goals scored, there were some quality chances. I thought Oscar Beck had the first high-danger chance, which was shorthanded. Bloody, he swooped in, stole the puck, and had a pretty close shot from just the left side low. Good save by Gustafsson. This is one of those instances where the goalie for Minnesota kept this from getting out of hand.
Yeah, like I said, he's been keeping them hanging around and doing his part. And for Oscar, and he just keeps on doing the right things, getting opportunities. And another player that's trying to say, I deserve to be in the lineup next game.
And then a few chances later, it's Matt Duchene with a breakaway. A big save by Gustafsson again. How about that pass from Essa Lindell?
Essa Lindell just is so good at hiding the fact that he is a very skilled player deep down. And he scored some very sneaky goals once in a while. And he also has thrown some great lob passes that we've seen lately. And that one was a perfect saucer pass. Credit all around. Great saucer pass, great vision up the middle. Great job by Duchesne to actually get his blade. That was pretty close to his feet. That's a very, very hard pass to catch. Catches in stride, gets a good chance. But yeah, the Stars scored on breakaways this season very often. I feel like they've had a ton of breakaways and haven't scored a whole lot of goals.
They have scored breakaway goals.
They have at least a couple, but I feel like it's got to be not a great ratio.
Look, that's sort of the knock on Dodonov is he seems to always get breakaways but doesn't score, but then you give him a penalty shot and he can't miss.
There is it.
Luddy, Jake Middleton had a really dangerous shot from the left dot, hit the right post coming across the body of Oettinger. But then a couple of minutes later, and you couldn't help but remark at what Brock Faber was doing all night, timing his play. He jumps into the rush, gets a pass across on a one-timer, and his stick broke. He never got a shot off on net. But that was one of, a handful of times where Faber got into good scoring positions.
Yeah, you can see why there's a lot of talk about this kid. But what he does is when you say he jumps into the play, he times his play. And he's hard to pick up. He comes from the back, but there can be a hole up ahead of him, 5-6 feet. He doesn't jump in that until he knows that there's a pass that can be made into that. So for a defender, you're not that concerned because you see him, he's off in a distance. He may be a little bit closer to the offensive blue line. And then all of a sudden when the play gets to the right spot, now he turns on another set of burners and then he jumps into that hole. And all of a sudden you're always wondering, like, how did he have that much room? Well, if I put myself on the other side of that, I'm looking, well, he wasn't there a couple seconds ago. He wasn't there. He wasn't he wasn't the most dangerous player there. And all of a sudden he finds it. So his timing seems to be impeccable. And that's, I think, how he gets so many chances. He's sneaky good in those little areas.
I like what you said about how he waits until there's a pass available, because a lot of times a forward would have the inclination to kind of jump into the open space and say, hey, look, I'm open, waiting for it to maybe get out, a battle in the corner, somebody gets control of it. But that would draw the attention of the defense, and then that opportunity would close.
So you're kind of helping me as a defenseman. What's difficult is when you're 10 feet away from me and you have the puck. So now, am I getting in a shooting lane? Am I going down? Am I standing up? It is a one-knee thing. How do I defend you? Whereas when I'm looking up ice and watching the play happen, all of a sudden you're out there, but you weren't there, and then all of a sudden you are. It's a little bit more, I'd like you to come to me and make it easier on me, but it's not.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit? When you get to the elite levels of sports, the small things become so evident. Like it's not about like football. It always reminds me of football as receiver and defensive back. It's not just about running past that defensive back and beating him and catching it over your shoulder, right? When you're in the NFL or college football, you might both you're going to be an inch away from each other.
You hit the hole at the right time.
You hit the hole at the right time. And you also, they go as far as to like put their hand up at the right time so that the defender can't guess where the ball is. Just all those little things. And you look at it in the NHL, those are the guys that score all those goals. Yeah. Those are the defensemen that become the Cale Makars, are the ones that can time that and know that. Duchesne did it tonight where it was a 2-on-1 with someone, Marchment maybe, and Duchesne's going in. They're both lined up with the defender, and instead of just driving himself and not being an option, Duchesne kind of puts the brakes on.
Sagan did that too.
Yeah, slows down a little bit. Yeah, for the one-timer, right? And then it opens a lane, and that's what really can drive you to score that extra goal a game, right?
As soon as I said that, I started thinking about the football bloopers, the outtakes and stuff like that, and I just went, oh, no.
You're just way off.
I'm just waiting for John to pull that one out there now.
We have some bloopers for you in the coming week of the broadcast, but we do have a lot of games going on before we hit the Thanksgiving break, which isn't really a break. So go to the third period. Stars have a 1-0 lead, but it didn't feel threatening at all because they were dominating in chances, and they continued to do that. And one of the best plays of the night turned into an average save, but it was Logan Stankoven on his own little solo rush, flipping the puck with his blade.
I got you, Owen.
Good.
Okay. Over Jared Spurgeon. Do that again,
John.
Look
at the sliced pitchfork that he does too. He decides
to flip his blade over and then just loft it to himself. Now, he had to wait for the puck to bounce twice because it wouldn't settle, and then he had to kind of just resort to a little spinning backhander.
I kind of want to say right now, Sam, my Herman Marshall moment may go to our producer, John Anderson.
For
legal.
That was
cool. A legal thing. We didn't show any moving action.
No, it was just
a good job.
I want to throw it up. You got that read on?
You want to do it right now?
Yes. So, John Anderson, you are
Hold on.
Oh, you got to do that first
I
part.
will. Let's
Okay.
do it officially. Here's the Herman Marshall marquee moment of the game. Pick up your favorite bottle at your closest goody-goody liquor store.
It is definitely my moment of the match. The Herman Marshall moment is our producer, John Anderson, for putting that clip together and painting a picture of what Logan Stankoven did tonight. And if you can't get it from here and you're not able to watch right now, this thing's got to be on YouTube, a clip somewhere. You got to get on here and watch this. Now, he didn't get the finish, but regardless, to be able to do that in full flight, like that's an my
and that thing
Lord
lands
moment.
like it lands on edge a little bit, so it's bouncing as it lands. But I was just thinking of those classic ones where you get the little, you don't set it up like a knuckle puck, but the puck just happens to be kind of bouncing up, and you kind of clap it flat on a slap shot. Imagine he throw that up and it lands and he hits it once and it's flat.
And what's smart here is that Logan knows that that's not Nikita Zadorov. That's Jared Spurgeon. They're kind of in the same neighborhood when it comes to standing with your back against the wall.
He's not trying to flip it
you
over
don't
a
think
9-foot defenseman.
Yeah,
throw it over
he
a
only had
tower.
to get up near about 3.5 feet.
For every bottle of single-barrel straight bourbon whiskey, Herman Marshall donates 15% of its revenue to the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas. For those who went before, stop into your closest goody-goody liquor store to find your favorite bottle. And I'd like to give special kudos to John tonight because two things. One, as Letty said, if you haven't seen it, go to the DLS Stars Twitter account because he clipped that during the play. And so you can see that video, not just the still
Look
shots
at him.
that
Now
we're
he's
showing.
admiring his
Now
own
he's
work.
admiring.
Yeah.
The second
Do you
thing
think if
is,
I pushed it fast enough, it would set off the YouTube algorithm?
I
The
think
video?
probably.
Let me try it.
Nah.
Do we need to let the listeners or the viewers know what we're actually talking about in this stuff?
I want to just say that I brought this up because I wrote it down as an interesting moment. I did not coordinate with John.
Right.
This is all on his own. That's great producing right there.
But tell them why that's great producing.
Well,
so that people understand what we can't.
Well, a couple things. One is he intrinsically understood that was a moment we wanted to talk about.
Hell does that mean?
And the second part
Intrinsically?
It's a
is
sort of soup.
he had an instinct. He instinctively realized that we didn't even have to ask him about it.
Yeah, it's like a non sequitur.
The second, it's not.
Sitting up here with Elon
So
Musk.
What Letty
intrinsically.
wants to say is that because we do not have we are not a legal rights holder of the broadcast like Victory Plus, ESPN, TNT. We cannot play game footage on our YouTube show, like our regular weekly show, pre and post game show, because we would get flagged by YouTube as a copyright infringement. We might lose our monetization ability on YouTube. So there's a legal thing there. So we can still show still shots, and in this case, we showed
John did excellent.
3 or 4 in a row somewhat quickly. It's not quite the flip book. Remember those?
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you could flip book and watch an animation.
Those are cool.
Wasn't quite that, but very impressive from John.
Bottom line, we're playing by the rules.
We are very
All right.
much so.
John,
Yes, Sam.
I think everyone felt bad that the Bruins lost so
No.
bad, so everyone's being really nice to you
Felt
today.
bad.
You're going too hard in the opposite. Now it's getting weird.
You've
Now it's getting
overcorrected,
like to what-
Sam, and
John,
that's uncomfortable.
you look fantastic today.
Thank you.
Those
This is-
pants fit
I've
you
had
really
two hosts of
nicely.
This show make potential sexual passes at me. For the last 30
That's not
minutes.
true. The other one had nothing to do with it, and you took it out
Owen
of
said to me
context.
before the show, "Hey John, can I borrow your hands under the table for a second?"
Yeah. So that had to do with
The
me.
second you guys get liquor in you.
No. That was way before I tried
that's
the
another
Herman Marshall
outtake.
tonight. Yep, that is. We're gonna have that one again. So look, at this point, after the play by Stankoven, it's still 1-0, and then Mason Marchment just said, "Hey, how about some insurance?" 11:24 of the third period was the time of the goal. Second of the night, 6th of the year from Sam Steele, and look who it is, Ilya Lyubushkin gets his second assist of the game, his 5th of the season, and it's because Mason Marchment and Sam Steele went hard to the net.
And be honest, that was my Herman Marshall moment.
Until
because,
that.
Well, because that was the second goal that ended up being the big goal
It was
in
the
the
game
game,
winner.
right?
Yeah.
So, but until I saw the artwork that John did, he's all. And again, a couple guys,
Artwork.
pay
Buddy's
attention. Just pay attention.
Draw me
Why?
like one of your French hockey players.
Ben oui.
Oh, he's got more French than you think.
But again, I say pay attention, a couple of you guys. This is why Marchment is on a roll right now, because he's feeling good about being in that area of the ice.
Matt Dumba had a wide open wrist shot in the slot right between the hash marks. Really good save from Gustafsson, who again kept them close. And why was that important? Because just like the Stars' first goal, with about 6 minutes to go on a face-off win, Kaprizov tips in his 11th of the year. Spurgeon's shot from the point was what was redirected by the Russian. Boldy won the draw, and it was almost a carbon copy of, except for it was a slap shot as opposed to a wrist shot, 2-1.
Not in love with Miro on this one.
Why?
He played him too soft. Like he didn't. Kaprizov had his stick available there. Miro just kind of was lightly like one of these things where, especially with a guy like that, and it's not. I think that he's a player, never playing against him, but he's a player that's probably pretty solid when he's got his base there. So you have to kind of play off the shot, but you have to have some leverage, come up underneath that stick and get it up off the ice, and he doesn't do that, and that's what allows him to get his I think it was the shaft. Oh,
yeah,
I'm going to stop staying.
That was a great tip, though. That really was. When you reach out,
I was seriously going to say you got a shaft on that.
I'd like to welcome you to the Stars DLS Double Entendre Hour.
I'm trying to be serious, and
DLS After Dark.
I'm not the youngest one here. I was going to say I was the youngest one here.
Tune in. We'll be on Cinemax round 8.
Do you want to try again?
No.
Okay, so we move ahead to the 6-on-5 portion because, again, Stars played so well that the Wild didn't get a chance to pull their goaltender until pretty late, but 2 high-danger chances, 3 total. Matt Boldy on a wrister from the top of the left circle hit the right elbow.
Hit it hard.
And then somehow, Luds, Marcus Johansson ends up with an open shot, 6-on-5 at the bottom inside right circle, almost in the low slot. Otter was square to him, made a good save, but you can't let that get open when it's 6-on-5 like that.
Yeah. Again, be a little bit tighter in that kind of the area of the game. You know, when you know that they're throwing everything to the net, you can't get outside that certain that hard area of the ice.
Is that just overzealous defending? You're trying so hard to make a play that you chase a guy and leave your area in front of the net?
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because you know exactly where they're going with the puck, and if anything, they're going to get it and try to slide it across the crease. So you're better off being tight, having your 6 on the ice, and being lane instead of getting outside that hot box area. No.
So it's a win. Everything, you're just full of them tonight, lads. 2-1, Stars with the win. Let's break it all down with the super chats and some regular chats if we have time. Next, here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
Empire Today. With Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire is your one-stop flooring shop. They want to provide the best and most efficient service. It's not always the most affordable, but they'll have the best experience working with Empire. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have copycats. I'm just focused though, boys. But Empire can't be beaten on quality, service, speed, so competitors advertise low quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in theirs. Their virtual floor designer is a great way to see the new floors will look in any space. Easy, and you just snap a picture and look in your room. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLS for details.
Every time I thought I had it together, I kept looking over at Letty, still laughing. All right, let's talk about Roback. It's quite simple. Best fit, best feel. The quality of the gear just speaks for itself. Their performance polos perform better in the heat than any other polos. They're moisture wicking, so the polo won't stick to you. I'm in trouble. And they have such a nice.
Jump in, Sam. Jump in.
What is happening? I don't have the read. I can't jump in.
Buddy, I got it too. Let's go.
Do the read.
So great performance polos. They have everyday shorts, perfect combination for a day on the move. They look clean, but they are. I'm in trouble again.
I have to read
use
it.
the code DLLSstars20 on roback.com for
I don't
a generous
understand.
20% off your first order. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20%
I don't even.
off
I'm not
all
even on
polos,
it.
hoodies, and shorts with code DLLSstars20. Make sure to check them out, and they will.
I'm not
have
a
you
part
ready
of
for
this,
whatever
everybody.
Travels or activities you have. Did I hit it?
Oh,
Yeah, you did actually.
thank you, Roback, and thank you for sponsoring the podcast. All right, let's get to the super chat because
This
we
is
can
why
laugh
we
for
don't
that.
give Owen whiskey.
No, it had nothing to do with it. It's because
the wheels just fell off.
every time I thought I was getting myself under control, I looked over at Letty's
How did
dying
it start? What happened?
because he said hot box. It started.
Oh, that was still back to that.
Yes.
You two idiots are still laughing about that.
It's
You know
not
what?
that he
You're not.
said it.
You can't sit next to each other at lunch anymore.
I was
My
waiting for Sam to
goodness.
say wood, and you never said it.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, we didn't have to get that far.
I'm looking in the thing here. I kind of look like the fish stick guy, don't I?
Oh, you look
from
like
South
the
You look like a lot of things,
Yeah.
lads.
None of them good.
Long John Silver's.
Yeah, that guy.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of like the New York Islander logo.
The old fisherman, which
Bing
they
bong.
hated, but now sort of kind of like a little bit.
Oh, we got some good super chats too.
All right. Wow, we're losing it. So let's get back on track. We'll start our super chat segment with, let's see, Madonna Ludwig. I love Misty 1985. Stars wins are so nice. Otter played his very best. Take 2 points and run. I don't think they have to run this one.
No, you can walk right out the front door with
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, you earned that one. You're good.
Otter now
Good
6
hard hat game. You know what? Remember,
6-0-1.
you know what they used? What do they do now? Do you guys give chains away for player of the game or something like that?
Some of
the
them
big
do,
chain
yeah.
they do
They have a
They-
cowboy hat now.
Oh, okay.
Is that's this
appropriate.
year's item?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a hard hat.
They had a chain. I've seen
Construction,
all sorts
yeah.
of. Somebody had when it was Vegas had like the Spartan
Yeah.
300 mask head helmet thing.
Oh yeah. Well, Stars did that one Spartan. I'm not near my microphone.
Not even close. You're just
did,
way back
Stars
here.
did that one Spartan one
Yeah.
one year with Fox. I remember had it on too.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Bing bong.
T Farmer, a little Ludwig, and look
That's
at that.
Dumba. Dumba
It's-
played tonight. Why are we saying? Why are we doing that?
Because I think he's doing the same thing that Ardell does. With
Oh, I don't know if
Ludwig.
Misty was doing that.
So he says about a little Marchment in there as well. Ouch, that mush I just took out the stank oven hot. You lost that? Or are you just trying to because I said it and it's funny?
No, I just love it because I just saw the wheels turning. I'll try to figure out if that made any sense. It doesn't. Yes.
No, but you lost that one.
Yes.
Luddy's done. I'm
Agreed.
actually better now.
I
I
love
thought I
it.
was out of control earlier,
Well,
but
here's what the problem: when there's things that I don't understand at all, I just wait for someone else to talk, thinking it's some new trend that I don't get.
Do you have something in your mouth?
A cough drop.
yeah, you do have a little marble sound. Luddy's
What,
loving it.
Luddy?
There's another one. You have something in your mouth.
Okay.
Get it? We've really gone over the deep end. All right. What's our
Bing
next
bong.
bing bong? Super chat. This is a little. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
this
we
is
got
a
little
British
Europeans?
pound.
Oh, yeah.
$4.99 British pounds, which would be Miro and the Cup year.
What's that in America dollars?
Well, we
Check.
could look it up in a second. Finn
America
Vogel's
dollars.
fan from the UK. Tonight was my favorite game this season. Looks so professional and dominant. Well worth the 4 a.m. bedtime.
Yikes.
Big up Labushkin and Stankoven. TN?
Tonight.
Oh, class. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were both really good.
they were.
And yeah, sometimes you got to set the alarm a little late.
4
Yeah.
a.m. bedtime.
That's
Well,
tough.
think about it.
That's tough.
It's 10:20 here in Central Time, and it's what?
$6.30.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah. It's basically the
So
opposite.
is it going to take Finn here like a week now to recover from sending that chat too?
Yeah,
Is time
7
zone
days,
thing?
7 days.
Well, let's
per
ask
hour.
Sam about the circadian rhythms.
Yeah, we got the circadian rhythms going at every 7 hours. You
I
get
did
your-
ask Finn
you get your
about,
carbs, you get your
his sleep
proteins, you'll figure it
schedule.
out.
Here's what he said.
Okay.
So Finn
Oh,
said
work
sleep
on that.
schedule. What does he do? Oh, okay. Been a Cowboys and Stars fan since for 10 years now. Wouldn't change the sleep schedule for the world. Need a stank jersey from Santa. Yeah, you should. He's going to be around a while. He's not
Who,
going anywhere.
Santa?
Stankoven.
Oh yeah, he should be too.
Remember the super chat that said take the points and run. We don't have to do that. The game last year in Nashville where they scored 2 goals in the final seconds and went from 1-0 down to winning it.
Yeah.
That's one you grab and you get out of there as soon as you can.
Yeah.
You stole those.
That
ones
one
at
you
the end.
probably that's stealing it. You didn't really deserve
Yeah.
it. This
This
one
one-
tonight they deserve.
No, they were on the front foot all night, so that was really good.
Bing bong.
Ardell. By the way, this is Ben Ludwig. I'm not arguing this one.
This
It
one
is.
for sure.
Dumba is giving up 3 inches and 50 pounds to Bogosian in that scrap. Bork took a hit away from the play. Took a hit away from the play, and Dumba punished the opponent for it. Dumba is a great teammate.
See, I didn't see that part.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that's a good catch there, Ardell. I didn't see that part there. And
And
that's great. Yeah.
And we saw it again. I don't think he really laid into the guy.
Mm-mm.
No.
I think Lauko just started to fall, and Dumba came in for a hit.
Yeah.
If he's upright, it's a normal check.
Yep.
And it was honestly the jamiebenn hit on Carlo the other night was worse than
It
that.
was, yeah, for sure.
by far.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for Dumba though. He fought a guy that's much bigger than him, and he handled himself very well.
He did. He looked good.
Couple of uppercuts.
See, you could have laughed at that one too.
He
If
looked
think
good,
about it.
or he handled himself well.
Handled himself well. Anyway,
You look
we're
ridiculous.
just
in that hat.
full of puns tonight. John, do we have more super chats? Or
We have got one more
Okay.
unless more come in.
Bing bong.
How much more can they take?
Roback more like Oscar Bach. Am I right?
That's the one I was laughing at.
That is
That's the one I
that
was
has to
laughing at.
be a little Dumba Ludwig.
Yes, and it's a, I believe, what was it? Not Billy Madison. Yeah, Billy Madison. Chlorophyll.
Billy
more like
Madison?
Borophyll, right?
Chlorophyll.
That's what I said.
You said
chlorophyll.
McChlorville.
I said chlorophyll.
Let's go back
This
to the
guy
tape,
right
John.
here.
There's
I
no
know.
way
I don't
he
think
said
he hears well
chlorophyll.
This guy
on the
right
right
here.
side.
Turn that around.
I know.
Hey, you guys make fun of me, by the way, because I'm stupid, right? I was
Why are you looking at me?
I was a science major, everybody.
Okay, so-
Kinesiology.
Burned Oils. We're
What,
going to regular
genealogy?
chat if we don't have any more super chats. Burned Oils goes, called it that Owen would have a laughing fit. Let it out, which I definitely was. And then Sam, Jason goes, is Luds now the captain? I Love Misty said Captain Luds. And then, let's see, Ardell said Captain Crew. Owen is completely off the
Hello,
rails
Captain
already.
Crunch.
You love to see it. John is throwing, Ardell says, John throwing gas on the laugh fire. Everyone's enjoying it. And then Ardell goes, is Lud's Captain Steuben, Gopher, or Doc tonight? Love Boat is in Lud's pop culture lexicon.
Gopher was a. I like Gopher.
See, he knew it.
There's nothing in there, is there? No.
I don't know
And I don't mean like eating a gopher. I'm just saying I like the character Gopher.
Do you remember the
Love
Love Boat?
No.
Have you seen Ace Ventura?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where he walks up to the billionaire's party and says to the doorman that's wearing a white suit, "I, Captain Steuben, our
Yes.
Gopher and Doc.
I do.
Permission to come aboard, sir."
That's from that.
That is a Love Boat
That's
reference.
cool.
Is
I
it?
was thinking
But it's Captain
Minnesota.
Stubing, isn't it?
It's Steuben, yeah.
Is it Stubing? Because
You would know
I'm
better
sure
than
somebody
me.
will our chat in or whatever.
Well, he typed it as Stubing. I would imagine Ardell knows what he's talking about.
Stubing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
I was thinking the Minnesota Vikings love boat.
Oh, yeah?
Do you guys know what that is?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I liked
Google it.
Isaac
Give
the
that a
bartender
Google.
too, by the way.
Do you know the Minnesota Vikings Love Boat? What does that mean?
You never heard about that?
No.
It led to 5 Vikings split. They basically threw a party with like strippers and prostitutes out on I don't know which Great Lake is right there. But like Dante Culpepper
Lake
and
Michigan?
a bunch of them got arrested.
Or Lake
In
Superior?
Minnesota?
I remember
Friends
that.
Salute.
Lake
Yeah.
Superior? You going out on a boat? At Lake
Superior is like Duluth, so it's
It
a
would have to be
little
the
north.
summer,
It wouldn't
right?
be- yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
Well, it doesn't have
it's a
to
cold
be.
lake.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful there in
It's
the
cold.
summer,
It's
though.
cold in the summer
Okay,
too.
so you got your captain's hat
Horseflies
on.
that big.
Would you go out on Lake Superior in the wintertime? Wouldn't that be a little
with my
rough and
snowmobile.
cold?
They
Yeah,
do that
but not in a
and
boat.
they do it in the office to save money. It's cheaper.
Oh, it's deep. It won't freeze. up.
Party bus or party boat. Party bus on the lake. That'll go well.
Yeah, that's about right. Okay.
That's how I feel when we do this show, like a party bus out on a lake.
I think it's about time, John. So let's move
What's
on.
happening? Yes.
Great super chats and yes, laughing fit. This time around, we will be a little bit better off.
What are we moving on?
Oh,
to?
we're not doing our DLS internal. Are
Is
we
it
too early?
Is it
We're a couple. We can if we want. We're about 2 minutes early.
Yeah, let's get it done. We don't want to get yelled at for
Get
being
her
late.
done.
Sometimes we forget what time it is.
I promise you, it's not because I drank the Herman Marshall that I got into a laughing fit. It was just one of those moments where we looked at each other giggling, and every time I thought I was getting myself composed, this guy was still
He
laughing.
giggles more than most people.
When you grabbed the Dirk face, I knew what you were trying to do. And it
I was
didn't-
just trying to cover up.
Yes, and it didn't really help. I ended up almost falling out of my chair over here.
Almost.
DLS is a great, obviously, way to enjoy your sports coverage and follow along with your favorite team, whether it's the Stars, the Mavericks, the Rangers, or the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys are having a rough time of it right now. To have your best experience, become a diehard. Go to the alldls.com website, click on diehard, subscribe. You can get a great shirt. This is the flag shirt. I've worn it a few times now because it is really comfortable, and it, of course, reps the company. But this free promo code you get for each year you subscribe, it's just one of the many features. We've got great content that Sam writes. All our other shows have great beat writers that are writing about the thing, about their sports. Most of them do not fall under the regular for free. There's lots of things behind the diehard paywall. You know what? We have great merchandise in spite of this shirt. Lots of different options. You can get a discount off of that, events, and we haven't done one for a while. Access to the members-only Discord, the diehard Luddy Damn Discord. That's the Stars version. There's lots of channels in there. One of these days, we'll get another Discord out of you.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, we haven't had a Friday in a while.
Oh yeah, too many
We're
games.
You could do
going.
it Thursday.
We could do it. We'll do another day this week. We'll figure it out. So, become a diehard today.
What's today?
Today's Saturday.
Saturday. That's what I thought.
Is
Okay.
that really what your question was? What was
Yeah,
today?
you guys, you tricked me. You started talking about Friday.
I was
thought today
very
Friday for a
confused that
second.
We weren't even trying to trick you.
Oh, no.
that's a problem.
No.
Well, it has to be something old because it couldn't have been from
And
5
it's at
minutes
night.
ago.
What happened? This is going to be that. It's going to be that.
I guess we got to pick up the phone. John?
What?
An urgent message from the NHL Department. Player Safety DLLS Stars podcast host Owen Newkirk is being placed in the sin bin for the most heinous crime of all, misidentifying Pokemon. The infraction occurred on November 1st, the day after Halloween.
Pokemon.
I'm proud of this mistake.
Oh, no, the video file's not.
Oh,
The
that's
video
a
file's
shame.
not found.
Oh, no.
So-
who ends up in the bin this time around?
I guess I have to.
Yes.
Can I take my Herman Marshall moment of the game and move it right now?
You can.
This is unfortunate. We were, by the way, everyone was in on this, and we were supposed to do it a couple days ago.
I wasn't
but
in
then
on
we
it.
started talking. We started talking about Joel Quenneville, so I thought, well, you weren't in on it, but Sean and
Oh,
Sam
when
were.
Sean was here. Yeah.
Oh, it
we
was gonna be
started
that
talking
day.
about Joel Quenneville, and I was like, probably not the best time to go to a sin bin.
Oh,
feel
so
like
now,
that-
we,
yes.
now we don't have it on video, though, so there's no proof. You can run.
This is wild Inception stuff right here, folks, because I'm about to be accused of messing something up. And in the process, our producer John messed something up. That is
Well, I mean, it was whoever was calling and doing that voiceover.
right. It
That
was
was
the
the
Department of Player Safety.
Player
Remember that
Safety.
name.
It
was
wasn't
Peros
John. No,
himself.
but whoever was doing that.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Skidded out of that one.
Man, how did I avoid that one?
I don't know.
By the way, William writes in, you don't fool me with your fake voice, producer.
I don't know. All right, so now
Fake
we
voice. I don't know what he's talking about.
now what do we want to talk about? Do you guys have any questions?
No,
Well, I'm trying to find that video.
I've got
file
more because we're
and figuring out if.
Buds,
I
what's
can
your
get it
favorite
to work.
color?
no, stop it.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You answered really quickly though.
I have a couple things for you. One, the 3 stars of the game tonight were selected by the Wild Media. Stars won 2-1 on the road.
You got to get over this part. You know they're homers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't even know who the stars are.
They do it here
Oh,
too.
I'm calling
But
them
you're
out.
yeah, okay.
Mason Marchment's the #1 star tonight. He deserved it.
That's
2
fair.
goals, game winner. I would
Yep.
have had that. Philip Gustafson's #2 star.
That's fair.
He was very good. Kirillkaprizov is the #3 star.
Well, he got a goal, and how many shots did he have? 4 or 5?
Let's
About-
see how many. Because at one point he didn't have that many. Kaprizov ended up with 4 shots on goal. He had 9 shot attempts by the end of the night.
Okay, so who would you have chosen then?
Ilya Lyubushkin,
Okay.
2 assists, 1 primary, 1 secondary. I mean, come on, right? He played a great game.
Yeah, but in Minnesota they don't know
Yeah,
that, right?
I know.
I mean,
Oh, he's gonna try again.
No way.
If you get this wrong twice, you're
this
going
is
in the
you are
sin bin.
double dipping right now.
Okay, attempt number 2. I'm not playing the intro again. Or I'm sorry, the people who called us are not going to say it again.
Nice.
Oh, back
see.
from his Halloween days, which was that Lilo and Stitch? It's Sean Shapiro.
Pokemon.
What was the theme of your
Pokemon, you
your
put-
family Halloween costumes?
Pokemon. Both kids are Pokemon.
Oh, they were Pokemon. It looked a little bit like a Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
That's a sin bin, Owen. That's a sin bin right there.
for your 10-year-olds that care about the difference between the Pokemon and the Lilo and Stitch
I
characters,
mean, mixing up Lilo and Stitch with Pokemon is egregious.
I just
That's-
got John
that's-
upset
that's-
because of an animation foul. So I'll take my sin
That's
bin. and-
pretty bad. This was based off. This was Pokemon from the based off the ones that came out like in 95, 96. Like this is not even something where you can claim this is like your kid's age stuff. Like that's a bad miss, Owen.
Owen's defensive reaction indicates that he knew he had been God. The ripple effects of this offense have already spread throughout the DLLS family.
Bobby, did you hear what happened on our show?
No. I went to the mall yesterday.
Owen thought that Charmander was Stitch.
Hey Owen, it's Jeff. I believe in public shaming to help people get better. And I heard about your Stitch situation. And I want you to know that Stitch and Charmander look nothing alike. They're not even the same color.
How is that possible?
Well, he saw a photo of Sean's kids dressed up as Pokemon for Halloween.
Did you know who the other one was?
Well, the other one was Gengar,
There's no shot he knew who that was.
and Owen thought they were dressed up as Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo's a person.
Owen, you're fired.
There will be no additional punishment for this offense. As
If I'm really fired, I should just leave.
That was
Let's
pretty-
not finish the post game.
the
Bobby's funny though.
legal or psychological punishment we could possibly inflict.
That was perfect. I think that was a punishment fits the crime.
I don't
Well
even
done.
feel shame about it.
No,
though.
that was a perfect way to do it because we wouldn't have been able to make fun of you because I probably would have.
Letty doesn't even
I
know
probably
what we're
would have
talking
mistaken
I
about.
have no
right now.
idea. I've already
Letting
checked
down
out.
your peers, I think. Is the
Were you guys
ultimate
making fun of
Yeah.
me?
No,
No.
me.
Yeah, that whole thing was
you.
about you.
Me. I'm the brunt
No,
of this.
You guys
I don't
making
know
fun
who
of
these
me.
characters are.
Same, which is clearly why I got it wrong.
It would have
And-
been any of us if it went to any of us. We would
Well,
have gotten it wrong.
I would appreciate one fact that John didn't show the photos of Sean's kids. I'm sure that was a permission thing they didn't want to do.
I did not attempt to.
Didn't
I
even
would-
ask.
I would
He
never-
might have,
I
but-
would not do that.
Sean's hard to get a hold of, though. He always dodges the media.
No, he's fine. Anyway, one of his kids had a costume with big floppy ears. That's all I said. Oh, it looks a little bit like Stitch. That's it. Like I'm gonna know. What were the names for the Pokemon, John?
Charmander and Gengar.
Who's Gengar?
Gengar's
What
a
does he
big,
do?
a big ghosty guy.
So
I like Jigglypuff.
Did our numbers just
yeah,
plummet?
yeah, probably
No,
went
they're still
down.
going up,
Actually went up just now. Hey, John, what's an easy way to figure out how long we've been talking on this show?
Just
I
close
can
our
see it right in
laptops,
front
get
of
up and
me.
walk
You
out.
can see it. Okay.
50-50, 50-51, 52.
Okay, good.
Three.
Just do that the whole show. Continuously read
You
it
know
out
what's
loud.
amazing?
Count up to 1 hour, and then we'll sign off.
You know what's really
20,
amazing?
22,
In the chat
21.
right now, our fans are having an argument about different Pokemons.
See what you started?
I don't even know what they're
Charmander
talking
does
about.
not have floppy ears. T Farmer says.
Is this like a cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I was going to say
No.
that as well, but I decided to move on.
I'm not even going to try to explain it because I'll get in more trouble for saying the wrong thing. So
What's Charm? Oh, I guess that's one of these.
Let's
One of
just,
the
let's
characters.
just ask me if it was a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, Bitcoin or whatever this. Stuff is.
You're like my dad. My dad would be like, "Oh, you want to just watch that movie? What is it on PayPal? Will you just go and log into the PayPal?" and get that? That's not it. It's not the right one.
T Farmer, I saw that. We all care about Pokemon.
Hey, so I didn't bring this up in pregame. Jake Oettinger is 6-0-1 now against Minnesota, right? And he had a 913 save percentage. I didn't see what he finished with tonight. Who would you guess would be the teams he was best or worst against? It's very random, but I'm just curious
Who's the
if you
best or
happen to
worst
know.
of what?
Best or worst against in his career, save percentage or goals against wise.
Best or worst, or best and
Best
worst?
and worst.
Shh.
You dropped the helmet here.
Yeah, I know.
Sam, you got to focus. You started this question. You can't turn around. Wait with the toys.
Is
Anyone
Calgary
have
Calgary
any
one
guesses?
That was just playoffs where he was that good.
Yeah, no.
I have no
I'm
idea.
just throwing a dart here.
No
I have
idea.
no
I
idea.
didn't know if you had any
No.
any fact.
The Bears.
So he has a point.
The Bears.
He has not a .950 save percentage against St. Louis and against Washington. It's the same. Best of his career. Best goals against is versus Seattle, which is super random, and his worst save percentage and goals against Ottawa,
And Luddy,
which makes no sense.
this, while interesting, is a non sequitur.
See? Non sequitur.
This is what's called
Jake-
useless information.
Is Jake your man of the match tonight?
Sure.
That's not an answer.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not telling you to.
I'd
I'm
like
just.
to nominate myself for a man of the match as well.
Well,
I'll remind you for what.
yeah, that was great, but you,
You-
really
you
lost
failed
points.
on
You
the-
deducted.
on the
You lost
penalty,
points
though.
from several of the judges. The East German judge really did not look kindly to your flub.
You know how it felt, John? You know when players try to come on the ice and their stick gets stuck and they fall backwards.
It is
They-
Saturday evening, gentlemen.
It is.
Don't we have to go a certain
Well, we
length?
have to
I
get
feel
through
like
an hour.
I feel like we have to
Is
go. That's
is
why I
that-
keep talking.
Oh, we're
I
at
feel
normal
like our
time.
clock is going backwards right now. So, who is your man of the match, Sam?
Jake Oettinger.
Cop out. He was really good. He was really solid, but to me, maybe not. Who do you think? Man of the match. Best Dallas star tonight.
I got to pick another one.
Who's
Lads, I'm gonna.
You can't
this
pick
is the
John.
last time I'm gonna tell you. Man of the match and marquee moment are two different things.
Yeah, but this is the
They're
important.
slightly redundant, but they're
They're
two
two
different
different things.
Says the producer who is making sure to remind us of how long we have to go.
Well, no, because the marquee moment is a moment. That's not a player. It's a moment.
Well, I would
You
go
said
with
it was
Mason
beat the board
Marchment.
yelling.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how we don't.
It's Mason
So-
Marchment. He
Yeah.
is. We said the other night how much confidence he's playing with. He continues to do the right things, and he's doing it at a level now. And I don't want to sound hyperbolic here. He is playing, I think, the best hockey he's played as a Dallas Star. And it's not just the points. It's he looks more in command. He looks more in control of his body. He's not flailing all over the place. Luds, we haven't seen him take a bad penalty in weeks. I think.
I don't know if you can, when we talk about Marchment or Sagan or Duchesne, I don't know how we mention one without the other two. It's almost like they're this. I said this before. They're some of their. They had 13 shots tonight as a line, and they've been a dominant group. And so when Hintz and Robo and whoever that's going to be get on track, and again, it's going to become more dangerous than for what we saw last year without losing what they do defensively. You know what I mean? They're so.
How much do you think the Minnesota Wild missed the 3 injured guys tonight?
Oh boy. Well, Zuccarello. I mean, you talk about Kaprizov. He was good. When Zuccarello is there, he's better. I think they have that. That they have those two. What the Marchment, Duchesne, Sagan line have. Those two guys. Brodin, he's the Esa Lindell of that team, and so I think they miss him. I said earlier, in the pregame show, the Brodin and Faber analytically about expected goals against, they're number 1 in the league when those two guys play together. That's pretty good, with a young kid and them. So, but yeah, they missed those 3. And, they're probably coming out of that game going, you know what, against that high-powered Dallas team, we hung around, and we could probably prevent one of those goals if, a couple of these guys in. We could add another goal if Zuccarello was in. And Eriksson Ek, he's an important part of their group too.
Where I noticed that when I talked about the depth, when you look at teams that don't have, say they have 2 lines only or 1 pair, you notice it in the times when, as a home team, you get 1, 2, 3 shots or 1, 2, 3 shifts in a row with momentum. That's how you get your crowd and how you get your team rolling. That's what Dallas didn't allow Minnesota to do, and those are the players that can help you do that. The Zuccarello that can pull it out of a corner and make those passes, and that's where they missed him a lot tonight.
The Stars are actually, and I don't know if you think I'm going to jinx you here, Luds, but they're actually following about the path you predicted when they came back from Finland. You made a hot take.
You just don't want me to be right.
No. I actually just wanted to hear that.
I haven't heard that in a while.
No, because look, here, I'll set him up for another one. A lot of fans thought the sky was falling after losing 2 games to the Panthers.
Falling.
Thank you.
And Joe Pavelski.
Well, that was just completely unnecessary.
Who's everyone's favorite Finnish goaltender?
Oh, it's got to be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Let's just run through the drops. So, Luddy, you said that you thought they were going to rattle off, I think it was what? 7 wins?
Mm-hmm.
Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Over the final?
I think there was 11
11, I think that was?
Yeah, I had a winning percentage, I think, of 727.
Okay.
I figured that's what they would do over this finishing out the month.
Well, so far, first 5 games, they're 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Started, only scored 4 goals in the first 2 games, 3 against Chicago in a win, only 1 in Winnipeg. They have 16 goals in the last 3 games, only 2 tonight. So that was a little bit lower. In fact, I think that might be, let me just do a quick cursory glance here. Yeah, that was ties the lowest goals scored in a win this season. They had the 2-0 shutout at home against Seattle in the first weekend. So here we are, 4-1 in their first 5. They have 6 to go in the month of November, and the next 2 are against 2 teams that have not been good and not expected to be good this year. They host Anaheim at home on Monday, Sharks at home on Wednesday. Is that Anaheim game at all a trap game coming off of an important 3-win week, knowing they have yet to lose a game at American Airlines Center this year?
No, not for me. I think that they're a confident team on home ice here, and I think when they may not have that game, the fans bring them to that level that they're supposed to be at, because it's electric in that building. So I think they've got that going for them. And when I saw those games at home, I kind of chalked them both up, and I'm not concerned about them, because at the time when I did that, they weren't playing very well. So they needed to clip. Like tonight, speaking of playing well, I mean, they picked up 2 points on Winnipeg tonight, and they picked up 2 points on Minnesota, 2 teams ahead of them. So that's like almost like a 6-point game.
Yeah. Sam, the road record this year has not been off to a great start. The win tonight put them back at 500. Last year, they had the best record on the road in the entire NHL. They were good and were top 10 in home, but there was a lot of talk about that. Right now, that game tonight, that looked like what we saw all year from the Stars on the road.
Yeah, exactly. That the way to win on the road is doing one of 2 things: either winning a low-scoring game by smothering the other team or getting an outstanding goalie performance, or you go in and you score 5 or 6 goals. It's usually some sort of the recipe, right? And the Stars found a way to do that one way or the other last year, and that game tonight was the perfect example of the smothering way they did it, and it looked great. I think you do that, you're going to win a lot of games because they can also put up 5 or 6 when they want to.
I'm laughing because I was just thinking in my head of a summation of tonight's post-game show. We had a laughing fit. That was mostly me. And I immediately started thinking, oh, he's going to cut that up into a nice montage and I'm going to look awful. And he's all, yeah.
7.
Is this the end of the show?
5.
Hey, they were good last year
4.
because they
Oh, we're
had
leaving.
3 lines going on
Bye,
the road.
guys.
2.
I think he's off on
1.
his clock.
We're at an hour. Woo!
Oh, like 7 seconds early.
Oh, I thought we were checking out.
I thought
we're
someone
still
was
going.
happening. I thought something was happening.
I thought you were going to run that little banner
So
thing
last
across from the
question
music.
for you, though, on this. Anaheim and San Jose at home. Then they have a 3-game road trip. They go next Saturday, they're in Tampa. Then the following Monday in Carolina, at Chicago, and then Black Friday at home against the Colorado Avalanche.
They're the two games starting with Tampa Bay and Carolina. I split that. You know, I think, you know, they're both good teams. They're both in their buildings, and Colorado. Besides that, the Colorado, I don't think they're quite put together yet. I know they got Big Val back, but they took it on the chin again last night, right? So
the difference is Nichushkin will, when they meet in Dallas, it'll be 2 weeks from his first game of the year.
yeah, so he'll kind of be under it. So, but anyway, I just think there's things going on in Colorado, obviously. Makar is going to be, you know, we'll see how that matchup.
I mean, those
Essa
big
and-
three, they keep scoring all the time. McKinnon, Rantanen, and
It's
Makar.
crazy. Every time I look at the update from the morning, it's like McKinnon gets 4 points, Rantanen scores winner.
That's a
like,
good test for the super pair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
That's a Haskin and Lindell pairing.
Yep. That's a super pair.
The
Just like our super chat, that's a super pair.
Yeah, the Anaheim game
Bing
is
bong.
the all and
Oh, no, we didn't actually get one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wondered
just
about
hit
that.
it.
You just said super chat.
all anticipated victory plus head-to-head matchup.
Yeah,
Victory
Ducks.
Bowl.
Ducks and Stars.
It's like the Flint Mega Bowl for
I
those
love
that
it.
like semi.
We did hear that the buzzer went off, right? We
Yeah.
heard that we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
So
just-
last thing for you, Luds.
oh God, it's
No,
last
think
thing.
about
Last
this.
thing
You
was
said
the
that
last
2
thing.
minutes ago.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
gonna do it
Last thing
again.
was the last
All
thing.
right,
So
one
that-
more
Last
thing.
things are 3 dunes ago.
I remind you again. It's Saturday night.
Are we expecting any changes in the lineup if everyone's healthy? With Lundqvist coming out tonight for Dumba, with Bork coming back in for Blackwell.
Blackwell will
see
be
the
back
Ducks.
in. I think that'll be my thing. Who comes out? I don't know, but I think I don't know how the guy's been pretty good.
I
So
thought Beck looked great again tonight. Sam,
you know
you're
what,
way
though?
too far from your
Sorry.
microphone.
I think
Forget.
you might bring Lundqvist back in, and I don't know, would it be Smith going out, because I don't think you take Dumba out again.
I mean, is dropping the gloves for either of those guys
Yeah,
enough
I
to stay
know.
in the
That's what I
lineup?
mean. It's a tough one. Like, again, if you want to go by Pete's words, you know, we got a deep lineup, and this is going to happen all year long. And Brendan's put together a good. What's he been in now? 3 in a row,
3 in
4
a
in a
row.
row.
Yep.
Okay,
And
3
that's
in a
going
row.
to be the
And they've
problem
won all
when,
3.
when if you take Dumba out, or if you put Lundqvist in, it's hard to not take Dumba out.
But I
you don't
don't-
take Smith out.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can sit Lundqvist out again, because he has done exactly what they've asked. And so I think that again, Brendan Smith was signed to be here at number 7.
Yep.
And he's been really good at number 6, 7, whatever you want to call him right now. So I think it's easier if you want to get Lundqvist in to take Brendan Smith out.
If you do that, do you split up the Haskin and Lindell? then?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
it's at home. So, you know, that game is at home. So maybe you can't, and it's not
It's also against the Ducks.
It's not
They
a
like to-
super team, though.
Yep.
So maybe you can get away with that. You know, I again, no matter who you put with who, I think you can get away with whatever you're going to do
Yep.
if you play it properly. So as I want to go home and get out of here, well, not necessarily home, but it
not
is Saturday
here.
night. I keep rambling on. So wrap it up.
One
Owen.
night I'm just gonna follow him.
You
after
can.
and
Good luck.
Just don't keep up.
See where he goes. No, not the
Oh,
part.
you just want to sneaky
Once I
sneak?
get there, I just
He
want to
just
see
wants
where he
to
is.
sidle along next
Just
to
wanna
Oh,
you.
see
no,
where
you
you
just
are.
come along and watch what happens.
I asked if I could get on the back of your motorcycle. He said
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that was a hard
Man.
pass.
You ain't riding bitch on the back of my bike.
TLS Sports, I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. Mewtwo,
I like there's
Wayne
three of them.
Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Excellent.
Okay, I don't even know if that's a
I just
good.
needed the image of this on the screen with all your faces so I can take a screenshot of it for Twitter.
All right.
How's that? I froze for you.
Hey, that's it. We had a laughing fit. We're going to see
Anyways.
that a few times, I'm sure. We got Craig Ludwig
Go to bed.
confused a little
Go to
bit
bed,
here at
lads.
the end of that last Office reference. Sam Nessler, Giggling John, producer Anderson. I'm Owen Newkirk.
Have a
Thanks so
good
much for
weekend.
joining us. How about that? A winning Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We have a Monday night pregame show, 6:15, Stars and Ducks
Bing
at
bang.
7. And
I'm not kidding.
we have
Oh,
a
no
super
way.
chat.
At the end?
Late breaking.
A
super
little
chat.
Brendan Smith and the year Luddy retired.
Thank you.
From Burned Oils, you laughed the devil out of yourself. Own, you're good now. I think that's supposed to be Owen. Own? Who
I don't know,
owns?
but your
Let-
new name is
let-
Owen.
Let Burned Oils take us out.
Luddy, who owns the Chiefs?
Who owned?
Who owns
Somebody
the Chiefs?
please cut this.
See-
We all silly like the mayor.